I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. We just have a couple of items. Excuse me. I hope you all saw the minutes. And can I have a motion to accept the minutes? Know who that is? Can I have a second? Okay, great. And Jean Marie, you want to come and do the treasurer's report?
Everybody has a copy of the treasurer's report? And income, let's give it up for bank interest, everybody. 92 cents, because that's all it is. And then we have expenses. The journal ads and the boosters and our gifts to school. Okay. Why can't I remember? A motion to accept? And second? Thank you.
Thank you, Jean Marie. Okay. As you may know, we have the PTA gives seniors a scholarship for $200. 8 seniors, they have to write an essay, and there's paperwork out there. So if you do have a senior, I know they were going to be given out in their English classes, but as we all know, sometimes we have to give our children a push. So if you do have a senior and you want them to write that, we would love that. So that's out there. And those awards will be given out, those scholarships will be given out May 22nd at the Senior Award evening. That's going to be at the Excelsior. Okay, Karen, please. Karen is heading up for our nominating committee. Next month, we have our elections for the executive board. And I'm going to turn the time over now to Karen and Laura.
So, thank you. So next month is our elections, and so far we have some people on the slate, which I'd like to read right now. So for co-presidents, we have Janice Font and Kim Lapari.
Can you guys stand up?
I'm Janice.
I'm Kim.
For treasurer, we have Jean Marie Iandolo. She was just up here talking about the bank interest. Recording secretary, Denise Militano.
Hi.
First VP, Lillian Cipoletti. Second VP, we have Natalie Jasso. And corresponding secretary, Liz D'Ambrosio. Hello. So if anyone is interested tonight, here or at home, in running for one of the positions, we are electing in May. We just need a willingness to serve form. If you are here tonight and you're interested, just fill one out and hand it to me before the end of the night. We'll add you to the slate. If you want to talk about it, come back in May. We're also taking nominations from the floor in May. May 16th is the meeting where we will vote for next year's executive board.
And it's important, you have to be here to vote. You do not have to be here if you're running, but you must be here to vote in person.
Physical vote,
Okay.
ballot.
Right. No mail-in ballots, no absentee ballots.
We'll table it for now.
Okay.
Thank
Business
you.
is tabled for the night.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We were going to have a representative from Touchstone Jewelry here with us. Unfortunately, she had a family emergency, so she had to leave town. Did you want to say anything, Lillian, about that? Sure, I should just put food in her mouth. Anyway,
Danielle will send out the link.
okay, Danielle will
Okay.
send out the link. It's
By
a
email?
fundraiser.
It's
I don't
on
know
our
if any of
Facebook.
you are familiar with it, but Touchstone has very, very nice jewelry, and they're giving a cutback to the PTA, which is awesome because our funds are running low, and we give out scholarships, and we give out underclassmen awards, and we try to help the school as much as we can. So that's why we do these things, to raise money so that we can give it back to the children. So we appreciate all your help. I would like to turn the time now over to Wendy Simons, who is our wonderful health center PA, who I have had the pleasure to know for many years, as my children have been here at Tutoring, and I will greatly miss you, but I'll come back and visit.
Don't make me cry.
And she's wonderful. And I've said this many times, but my oldest son, when he was here, had a lump on his neck. Thank heaven for the clinic, because they found out it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he was treated. So if I didn't have this at first, it would have been a longer procedure. So
I think my words were, no, you can't wait till tomorrow.
exactly. So I have a special gratitude in my heart and fondness for the health center. If your children are not part of the health center, I totally recommend it. But I'm going to turn the time over to you now.
Okay, so tonight I promised I would talk about working papers. Is everybody here's child a member of the health center? Do you know? No. Does anybody need a consent form? Okay, good. So I want to give you a little history about working papers. Working papers, sports exams are all meant to keep children safe. Now, I feel like I'm speaking to the choir here because, only the people who do it right show up. So when I talk about working papers and I say that it's to protect children, it's not necessarily to protect your children. But I'm going to give you a little American history about why they're working papers. In the United States in 1911 in New York City, in the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, there was a huge fire. 125 young women died in that fire because the doors were locked and they couldn't get out of the factory. After that, people started to look at how children got educated and requiring education. And then the Great Depression happened. And after that, under Roosevelt in 1933, we had our first female Secretary of Labor, first woman to ever serve in a cabinet. And I'm going to give you her name. Her name was Frances Perkins. But the reason she became famous is because she advocated for children to be taken care of properly. So what happens now is that in order for children to work, they have to have working papers. And they're not allowed to leave school and sign out until they're 16. Hopefully they don't get to sign out until after they have their diploma, but some people are not meant for school and they leave. And at 16, you can get permanent working papers, and you have to keep those until you're 18 or you can't work. And you still have to have some association with the school. But when you're 11 years old, you can work as a farm worker, you can deliver newspapers. But to keep children safe, they need to have information that says that they're physically fit to work. Now, our feeling in the health center is that everybody should work. There are very few things that would restrict a child from working. It might be that they have to carry oxygen and they have a lung problem that needs to be treated, or that they have a heart problem that needs to be treated. But everybody should work because it helps them grow up. But just to keep children safe, they need to come in and have a physical and be signed off by a doctor. In order to be signed off by school, have working papers. At this time of the year, everybody's very interested in their child having working papers so that they can do summer youth, so that they can work as camp counselors, so that they can get their first job at McDonald's, so they can work for the parks department, so they can be lifeguards. Now, the best job for a kid, I think, if they use sunblock, is to be a lifeguard because it gives them a lot of skills. Of course, I'm a healthcare person, so I like lifeguards because they all know CPR, they all know first aid. It's a part of being a lifeguard. But it's also the best paying job for a 16-year-old that they're going to get. But they also have the most responsibility, and it helps them grow up. So when you're 14 to 16, you get a blue card. And the one thing that children are not allowed to do is work in factories. They can do lots of other things. But working in a factory on Staten Island isn't so easy because we don't have many factories anyway. But if they were living in Brooklyn or they were living in Manhattan or Queens or Bronx, there are factories there. when they're 16 to 17, they can get a general certificate to work of employment, and that card's green. But if they're going to sign out of school, it's a salmon card. So we want all our kids to either have blue cards or green cards. We want no pink cards here. So when the children want working papers, they come into the health center if they're members, and we do a general physical. And our goal in a physical is to help a child facilitate being able to negotiate the healthcare system when they get older. So it's an educational process, and it takes about an hour because we go through everything. And we talk about things that are as simple as brushing your teeth twice a day. We talk about things that are as simple as knowing their own bodies. We talk about things that are interesting to them in terms of taking care of themselves and helping them be educated, health-wise individuals. So it's not really to keep them, to eliminate them. It's just to make sure that they get seen. Now, when we do the sports physical, it's a little bit more involved. We have a little bit more questioning. It's a little bit more involved physical. And that takes a little bit longer. But very often I'll do both physicals simultaneously. So that once the child is signed off for sports, they're signed off for work. Because we want to see them as much as they want to see us. I think we want them in class more than we want them in the health center. So that's a little bit of the history of working papers. That's a little bit of why we do working papers. And I really want to see all your kids. And of course, the best time for them to come is over the summer. Because in the summer, there's less waiting. They come in early in the morning, they get their physical done. They're good for a whole year. And the best thing about doing it in the summer is you're on the right cycle for going to college, because everybody needs a college physical. So to get into college, they require the physical. If you do it in the summer, they'll be ready to enter college that September. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Wendy. We appreciate that. Thank you. Now we are fortunate to hear from Jose Flores, and he brought with him Roberta. So welcome. We're happy to have you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm going to split this.
Oh, sure. Good evening, everybody. Are we doing okay? My name is Jose Flores, and today I'm going to be talking about financial planning. Before I get started, let me just give you a little background about the company that I represent, which is New York Life. New York Life has been in existence for over 170 years, and we're the #1 mutual fund insurance company. So what that means is that we're not in Wall Street. We answer to our policy owners, which are people who have a policy with us, and that is a great way that we are not. Excuse me, I wasn't ready. Sorry. So we talk about financial planning, right? So what does that mean? In New York Life, we work around the protection, accumulation, and distribution, which is a great way to help people plan for their retirement. The most important part that we work with is with the insurance protection. Why? Because this is the most important thing to protect the income that we have, every single one of us. We work so hard to make that income. We need to pay bills, we need to pay rent, we need to pay child support, and all the stuff that comes with the income. Now, what happens if something were to happen to us? That income is no longer there. So what happens if we have a spouse that is not working, is a stay-at-home mom, she has to come out of the home, get a job, and work. It's hard to bring that extra money. So we have different ways to solve that need. We have two kinds of insurance, which is one is called the temporary life insurance. The other one is called permanent life insurance. It is designed so that it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much you can put it aside every month. We can go with all different kind of budgets. The most important thing is that you get coverage. Why? Because we are all going to get old and we are all going to die. The longer we are, it's going to be a little bit more expensive for us to get coverage. The younger we are, we're protecting our health, which is one of the most important things that we have. Because once we get chronic disease, it's very hard to get coverage. So by doing it earlier, it's better. Now, the second thing that we work on is going to be the accumulation. We work hard for our money. Unfortunately, back in the day, we had pension plans. People used to work, they had their pensions, they had their social security, and they were used to not being considered with savings because their pension pretty much provided for everybody. Nowadays, pensions are very minimal. They're almost non-existent. So what we have now is a 401k, which almost everybody knows. So if you work for a company, they provide a 401k, which is a sponsor plan for you to save your money and put for retirement. Now, unfortunately, not everybody has the chance to have a 401k, or if you work for a school, you have a 403b. So what are you doing to set money aside for retirement? Well, we have what is called an IRA. Yesterday was the last day so you can fund your IRAs and deduct it from your taxes. So next year, you can actually put money aside, which is limited to $5,500 if you are under 59, age 59. So what does that mean? You cannot touch the money. You put it in an IRA or you put it in a Roth IRA. It depends whether you want to be taxed now or you want to be taxed later. But the important thing is that you put money aside so that your money grows, and by the time you're in retirement, you have some money planned. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to be on the income that we don't have yet. And then we have college funding education, which is 529, which is a great way for people to save money, put up for college. But it also depends. If the child doesn't want to go to college, then you're going to be taxing that money. What does it mean? So you can pass it down to another family member. But if you put it to someone else that is not going to be for a college funding, you're going to be taxing it. And now how some people have scholarships, so people have money set aside for college purposes. If you use that money for college, it's good. But if not, what's going to happen? It's going to impact the child's success for going to college because you have set money aside, so there's no purpose. You're going to be taxed. The whole purpose of 529 is for college saving. Now we have life insurance, which is a great way because it accumulates cash value. And also, as time goes on, you can have access to that money. It's going to be tax-free. The last thing that we talk about is going to be called the distribution. People already work, they set aside their money. And what happens now? We are 59, we have a lot of money. What are we going to be doing with it? So we have what's called annuities. There are different types of annuities. And so a lot of people don't like annuities. They think it's a bad idea. But it could be great because you make sure that you will never outlive your income. You get a monthly stream of income for the rest of your life. So we work around the 3 financial areas. The most important thing is for you to set aside some time and think about what you're going to be doing for your retirement. Right now, everybody's young, everybody works, everybody can do everything. But later on, we're not that lucky, right? We might have a condition that prevents us from work. We might not be so lucky to have a job. Are we putting money aside, complement our retirement, or to help us in retirement? A lot of people think Social Security is going to be there for us. Sadly, that's not the case. And so if you're not thinking about it, what are you doing to put money aside for your retirement? Once you're in that time, what are you going to be doing? So right now we have provided a couple of brochures for you to have a little knowledge about the topic. It's a great way to get you started. You don't have to do it right now. You don't have to do it tomorrow. But if you take the time, take 5 minutes out of your time and tell yourselves, what are we doing for planning? Right now you have kids that are going to go to college. Are they well equipped to go to college? Expenses are very high for tuitions. If you go to a normal school in the city, they get tuition paid for them if they qualify. But if they don't, books are extremely expensive. And that takes a lot of chunk out of people's money. They end up with student loans. Right now people go to college, and when they come out of college, they can't even get a job, and they have a bunch of a chunk of student loans. So the earlier that your child is, the little money that you put aside for your education is going to be great, because then they don't have to really worry about paying for student loans. And just focus on doing what they do. They get a college, they get a degree, and they get a job. So pretty much this is the end of my presentation.
I have a
I know we didn't
question.
talk a lot. I was gonna go down to the questions, yes.
For the 529, when is a good time to start for that?
Well, you can start now. The earlier they are, the better. Again, because you don't need to put a lot of money in it. You can just put like $50 every month, and it works. So it's going to be accumulating cash value, and then it's going to be accumulating. So the earlier they are, is the better, because you don't need to put aside a lot of money. You know, it takes a little bit of money every month or twice a month. So it's a great way to start. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
What about if you already own?
Well,
What? Like,
certainly
no,
you don't need-
I'm
certainly you don't need
serious.
a 529, that's for sure.
No, but what if you're 50 or 55 even? Where do you, and like all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I have nothing. What do I do now?
Well,
What do you do?
Well, you can definitely do an IRA, but you know.
What's the percentage on an IRA though? Like if you're putting money away, how much do you
Well,
really?
if you want to be on the same level, so you can put on a fixed product, you know,
Right.
it's going to earn you less interest rate, but it's guaranteed. So your money is not going to be, you know, flexible, not going down. So as you 55, you can actually put an extra $1,000 on the minimum requirement. You cannot touch the money to your 59.5. So that money is going to be locked into your 59.5, otherwise.
And that's 60, what is that, would be 6,500 for the year?
Yes, for the year. That's the maximum that you can put in. Because right now you know, the qualified plans, there are 401ks, you know, the 403bs, and 437 for the police officers. So for personnel, we have what's called the IRAs. And as long as you are like a business owner, you can let a solid 401k, which includes different stories, you can do put money aside. But for individuals, the amount is going to be $5,500 because it's for tax purposes. You can overfund it.
Right.
So you are limited to the amount of money that
So it's
you can
500 a year
a year.
that you can put in.
That is a maximum.
And then what's the how much do you make on that? Like how does that work? What is the percentage that, like if you're putting it into
interest
saving
rate.
it, what's the interest rate on that?
It's going to be less than 5%, between 3 and 5%. Then again, you know, it's guaranteed. And if you want to put it like in a viable product, you want to invest like in the market, then you want to be getting a higher rate of return. But
They go by your age, how they do it.
It's going to go, you know, more flexible. You know, if the interest goes high, it's going to be making more than that. But if it goes bad, you have to lose some money.
Right.
On a safe product, you know, for a fact that you have it's going to be guaranteed, and then you can't lose your money.
So 55, you have to be 55 in order to put 6,500 in?
Yes. Before that, you know, the maximum amount is 5,500. But, you know, the younger you are, you know, it's actually going to be accumulated money. So you have to consider the fact that you're going to be taxed now, you're going to be tax savers as well. Because, the traditional IRA.
What is the best option to be taxed now or later?
Well, right now, people think the taxes are lower or higher. What do you think?
We should be paying more money.
People are thinking that the taxes are lower now, so therefore they want to be paying taxes now because they think
We
they're
don't know
lower.
what it's going to be.
And so later on, you never know. You know, you got the 8-year between the tax changes. So later on, you might be taxed double. So if you actually pay your taxes right now, later on, you're going to be at a high tax bracket. So when you take the money out, you have to pay more tax on it.
See, the thing with that is that annoys me because you're taking your money, you're putting it in, right? And you're getting, let's just say a 3% interest rate. How much are they going to tax you though? Are they going to tax you at 3% for the money that you take?
Well,
Then what's the sense?
Because this is what we're talking about. You're going to pay taxes now. You're not paying taxes now. So the money that you put in are going to be tax free. But when you take it out, you're going to pay taxes for that traditional IRA. When you do a Roth, you actually pay taxes. You know.
But what's the tax on a traditional IRA? Like if suppose I put it in and took it out in 2 years.
Whatever amount you pay on your local taxes, whatever amount you pay on your tax bracket. Yeah, on your tax bracket. That's how you.
And if it's after tax dollars now, when you put that money in before tax day, you deduct it on
Yeah,
your.
no, you can escape taxes.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
not a tax expert, but you know, we work with accountants, and you know, you can actually touch it up on and see what tax bracket you are in. And probably they might be able to help you. So you know, are you on a lower tax bracket now? Does it make sense for you to put on a tax deferred IRA?
Right.
So you can do a Roth IRA, you pay taxes down that are the lowest, and then when you take it out, it's going to be tax free.
So the Roth is tax free.
It's tax free, yeah. You pay tax right now, so later when you take it out, it's gonna be tax free.
We still pay taxes.
Yeah, I mean, you pay taxes on everything, right?
Yeah, I know, we pay taxes to get up and running, but.
We work, you pay taxes.
Yeah.
You know, we all want to work and not pay taxes,
Right,
but that's
right.
unfortunately that's not the case.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody has any other questions? Yes.
I made some choices for two kids, and only one decided to go to college.
On the 529?
Yes.
Well, you can actually pass it on to a family member. You know, that way you're not getting taxed on. But the whole point of a 529 is for you to use it for college saving purposes. You know?
Is there another plan if they don't choose to go to college at all? Will I be losing them?
Well, you're not going to be losing that contribution. You just have to pay taxes on it. It's going to be like a penalty charge of about 10% plus taxes. So you will be losing 10% on whatever amount of money you have collected throughout the years.
If she doesn't pass it down.
If she doesn't pass it down. Let's say you say, you know, they're not going to college. This is my last kid. And you're like, okay, you know, he's going to take the money and go on vacation. You're actually going to be paying a 10% on whatever amount of money is collected so far. And then you can have the money out. But let's say you have a younger son or daughter, which you want to pass it down to, you know, then you're going to be avoid the 10%, and you can still fund it for later on.
They deduct the 529 amount when you put in monies. You know when you have to fill out the FAFSA.
Mm-hmm.
You have to deduct the 529 amount, or no? That's a separate.
Yes, that's actually counts against the whatever
Financial aid.
financial aid that you have. It's into consideration for like the public and
Okay.
So you know you have money that you really don't need the financial aid because you already have that money saved to your. So I mean.
And does it matter if it's like the grandmother does it? It still has to be counted?
Yeah, because it's for the kids, so you know the kids are gonna be applying.
Probably give the social security number, right?
Yeah, so I mean, if you can something like let's say your kid or your grandkid to another school, another country, from the state, you know, it makes the perfect time, you know, because people that will go away for college nowadays. They don't want to stay in the city. And let's say, you know, you go to a private school and you pay out of pocket, you know, it makes perfect sense. But if you're going to stay locally, you know, it's going to impact your chances of getting financial aid because right now, if you're a low-income family, you can actually get financial aid. That's the bad thing about the 529.
Okay.
If you're going to stay local, you know, it's making sense because right now we have school going to be tuition free. So, you know, we have the thing that you have to stay 4 years to go to college or every 3 year college. You have to stay in the.
Doesn't affect where you go.
Well, it's not free yet, though.
Yeah.
Instead of this
But you
year,
have to meet
the requirements, yes.
and you have to graduate before you.
And you have to stay here.
We did say 4 years.
Yeah, however many years they pay for it.
And if you drop out, you have to pay back.
Yeah.
You have to maintain a GPA.
Yeah, so that's another way of school.
But you can only have it on your freshman year if you don't apply for your freshman year. No matter what.
Does anybody have any other questions? So we have passed down a survey. We want to know what people their main concerns are. You know, whether it be life insurance, health. You just fill it out. You know, we want to use like some feedback and you know bring it over to see what people's needs are. It's a great way for us to know that you know we can impact the community. We work with different other schools, hospitals, and consulates. You know, passing down the information to another people who might be interested. It's a great way to learn. You know. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's always scary to think about, and I know I had wanted to start that 521 years ago and never did, and now I'm kicking myself. And that's pretty funny. It's been brought to my attention that, you know, you all know that I'm not perfect, and I made a mistake. We are having our installation dinner on June 20th, but in the body of the letter I put June 21st because that was last year's. So I apologize, I didn't, I will change it. But if you can come, we always have such a really, really good time. It's at Nini's Cafe, and that's going to be on June 20th. Before I turn the time over to Danielle, I just would like to mention a couple things. Friday, April 27th, and I know Danielle will talk about it too, but we're going to have our paint night. and it's so much fun. It's only $25, and the PTA gets the proceeds, which again goes back to the children. But it's a fun night. We have a lot of laughs, and you come out with a really nice picture. And you know what? If you look at yours next to somebody else's, you think, oh, I did a horrible job. But you take yours home, put it up, it looks gorgeous. It is beautiful. So we have that. And then another thing I did want to mention, we have a bunch of activities coming up, and I put the dates to remember down on the bottom. But May 17th is the first night of Rent, and that's the spring musical that's going to be here. And the PTA always sells concessions. So if anyone is interested in helping us, we'd love to have your help. So yes, so if you are interested in helping us, we really appreciate that. And now I'm going to turn the time over to you, Danielle. Thank you so much. Oh, Mrs. Angelos couldn't be with us, unfortunately. I think
So you're stuck with me again.
we're so lucky to have Danielle,
You're
but
stuck with me.
Danielle's going to be leaving us because we're getting a new parent coordinator. So you'll tell us all about it. Okay?
I will tell you all about it. Thank you, Michelle. Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing? So the first thing I wanted you guys to take note of is, April is Autism Awareness Month, and here we have a lot of activations going on. Before you leave, stop in our lobby, look at the subway wall. The students have worked really hard on that. These puzzle pieces, our little hashtag is we all fit together. If you guys are interested, they're a $1 donation, and you can decorate it, you can sign it, whatever you'd like, and then we fit it together on the subway wall. In addition, on April 20th, it's our bake sale for Autism Awareness. Again, all the proceeds will go to charities. And bowling for a cause. So every Friday, the students for $2 during their lunch periods in here, we have a basketball net set up, and they play basketball for $2 during their lunch. They really like it. It's a lot of fun. And again, those proceeds are also going to Autism Awareness charities. So that's what's going on this month as far as our theme. As Michelle said, Paint Night, PTA sponsors it. It's at 6 p.m. April 27th. We are almost sold out. I think we have 4 seats left. If we get more, which caps us at 50. If we get more, I will get more instructors. Right now there's 2 instructors, and it's a really great night. Everyone has a lot of fun. You can bring your students. You can bring younger ones as long as there's a parent there with them. And this time we're going to be doing a still life of flowers and a vase. It's really pretty. It'll be great. And like Michelle said, on your wall look fabulous. So that's always a great night. Tomorrow, PGC. So PGC is our peer group connection. It is a peer group that is led by juniors and seniors that reach out to the underclassmen, that help them with any type of issues that they may be having in school. They reach out to them. They're their friend. They say hello to calls, and it's a wonderful program. It's growing here. This is our 2nd year, and they're hosting a family night. So it's dinner and a presentation. It starts at 6 p.m. and the entire school is invited. So your son or daughter does not need to be in PGC to be invited. You can come and take a look at what these children are doing. They are running the whole show. The staff is just here to support, and I promise you will be very impressed. They do a lot of great work there. So that's tomorrow, 6 p.m. If you do want to come, just call the school, email me, and we'll put you on the list so we can order the proper amount of food for dinner. Academic support. We're getting close to finals, regents, all of that good stuff. So letters are going home this week to all the families. There's a lovely chart that you guys are used to getting. Put it on your fridge. We have all kind of prep and tutoring and all types of academic support that the children will need to get them through to finals. Seniors, senior dues are due this week. We'll accept them also into next week. Yearbook is due as well. If we can get it in, you can get it in. We'll take it that day, but we try to get it in earlier. And prom. So prom, they need a few things done. For senior prom, they need one to have a permission slip from you guys. That's the white slip that they were given at their senior meeting. If they're taking a date from outside of New York, they need a yellow permission slip, and that has to be notarized. It doesn't matter if their date is over 18. It doesn't matter if their date doesn't live with mom or dad anymore. I've heard it all. We need it signed, and we need it authorized as well. notary public. And the last thing is the Everfi alcohol workshop. Starting this year, all of our seniors must take this online workshop to be able to attend the prom. And that is about alcohol awareness and why it's an awful thing and they need to stay away from it. So the link was given to them. You can go to your guidance counselors. You need the access code. So they can go to their guidance counselors or Mr. Aline, and he will provide the link. It takes about 30 minutes. And then I get a copy of their certificate. Once they bring that with all the permission slips, then they're able to purchase the tickets, which is $140 per ticket. Okay. So what else do we got here? And May 17th and 18th, rent tickets will go on sale soon. If anyone would like to promote their business in our program, this is the program you want to be in because we sell out our spring musicals. It's a great crowd, and your business will be in front of a lot of people. Miss Murphy had sent out an email. If you guys need a reminder, just call me. I think it's $25 for a quarter, $50 for a half, and $100 for a full page. It looks just like a playbill. We call it the AFADA bill, and it's given out both nights. So it's really great coverage. So if you have a local business and you want to promote it, it's cost-effective way to do that. And then finally is your new parent coordinator. So Miss D will officially announce her, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up. Her name is Allison Bennett. She accepted the position. I am very excited. She's wonderful. You guys are in good hands. She is going to start this upcoming Monday. And I'm sure she will, email everyone, send a people path blast out introducing herself. And in the midst, I will be working with her. So if there's things you need to ask me, but just know that she's here starting Monday, and I'm always here for you guys too. You can always come to me, not just in the transition period. And
what will you be doing?
What will I be doing? I'm just going to sit around and look pretty. So I'm the art director for the school. I am the secretary of public relations and media. So that basically means anytime you see a poster on the wall, social media management, any kind of graphic design that is needed, the teachers and the staff and APs and Ms. DeAngelis come to me for that. I also deal with the press. You recently saw the chancellor's visit here. That's something that I helped with. And I really do help. I know we get a lot of help from the parents with making connections into the press, and I always appreciate that. So any kind of recommendations are always welcomed. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So I'll still be working with you guys.
Are you still be doing paint nights?
Yes, I will still be doing paint nights as fundraisers. I'll still be doing terrarium nights and all those fun stuff. So I'll be around. You can't get rid of me that quickly. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
And the number for the new parent coordinator, is that gonna be like on the website?
Yeah, that's still my old number, the 11054. That's that old number, and she'll send out a hello, I'm here kind of letter like I did, and introduce herself. She's lovely. You guys are gonna love her. There was PSAT. Someone was asking about that. So the grades. Miss LaShogren sent emails out regarding the College Board. You can set up an account. You can view the grades on the College Board if you're very anxious to know. Or you can send your student to the College and Career Office, South 229, and she has a hard copy. She'll let them know what their grades are. Another way is if you want to wait, we're uploading it into Naviance, and the grades will be there as well. That's just going to take a little bit. They're working on that in the College and Career Office. As far as what numbers mean and if they're good and if they're bad, that's really something that I have to leave to the experts. So that's Ms. LaShogren, Ms. Clark. It all depends on your student and their needs, where their grades sit. So that's, yes.
I sent my daughter to S229, and Ms. LaShogren was very, very nice. She even set her up with a college board.
She's wonderful.
So if you don't know how to do it,
yes,
she'll help them.
She goes out of her way. Ms. LaShogren will help the children. Does anyone have any questions? Comments? Concerns? No? Yes. Yes.
I know it's gonna sound dumb, but
No
I just
dumb
want to know. Okay, for students that are busy in school and participate a lot, and have like other activities on Saturday in school, what can they do to have like more for like tutoring? Because most of the tutorings it's done when stuff is happening in school.
Okay, so they're not able
what
to
happens
do.
to those kids?
So they're not. They're every Saturday. Are they in a sport?
Like
Is
for
that
example, advanced placement, AP classes.
Yep.
They're still going on.
Right, so they don't have it.
They can't do Saturday.
Okay, how about the library tutoring, the Tuesdays and Wednesdays
Well,
after?
this particular kid, my kid is in rent.
Right,
She
so
has really good grades, but I want to know what else can she.
she's got a full
So
plate.
is there anything else for kids that have like?
So that's a special circumstance, and what if Ms. DeAngelis was here, the first thing she would say is if her grades, not that her grades are slipping, but any student,
Oh,
we're
no,
talking about
it's not.
board.
But
If the
she's
grades
like
are
on top.
slipping and we need extra support like that, then she needs to be pulled out of rent. But her grades aren't slipping. You just
No.
want some extra support. Have her reach out to the teacher that she, if they, let's say it's science, whatever.
Mhm, yes.
Say, hi, I'm in rent, I'm in this, I'm in that. When can I come to you? Our teachers, they will make time. It could be one of their free, even though, you know.
Yeah, because until she asked me, I'm like, I don't know. Let me.
Right.
All right, let me go find out.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Their schedules are busy, the kids are busy, but as
Yeah.
long as she's, you know, keeping
Yeah,
on
she's
top
not
of it
slipping
and
or
not
anything, but
slipping.
you know they need extra for the regions, like extra help. So
Oh, for
Right.
regions?
And there's cram
for
sessions
regions
too.
and finals, because you know everything's happening.
But they have the regions tutoring on Saturdays.
She has,
Yeah, but she has AP classes.
she has AP classes. So you'll probably get like a week where she can go, or 2 weeks where the AP classes end, right? Have her speak whatever regions she's most concerned about. I think at this point it's picking and choosing. Have her speak to the teacher and see what they can do. It could be stuff that's maybe done online or stuff that is given to her that she could do in her own time, and then they could review with her, something, okay?
Thank you.
No, of course, no problem. Anyone else? That's it. All right, guys, I'll turn it back over to Michelle.
Thank you all so much. Is there any questions or anything? Okay, we will have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And a second. We got a lot of adjournments. Thank you. Please take some food. There's some tin foil if you wanted to take anything home. Thank you so much. Thank you.